What's up, brewing peeps? Brewing Daddy here, and we're about to bottle up some nut brown ale. Look at that beautiful nut brown ale. Now, we just recently transferred, I don't know, it's been 15, 20 minutes ago, our fermenter here and elevated it. I've already got 6 bottles in our sanitation solution, and we're using an iodine solution, and I wanted to spare you the eventfulness of me filling the filling tube with solution. So I went ahead and pre-did that. Basically, you just keep submerging it until you get all the air bubbles out, and you want to make sure it's full of solution. It's already down in here and it's soaking along with 6 other bottles. We're going to get 6 more in here. So a 5-gallon bucket works perfect for this. I like to fill them and stand them. Not sure if you can see from the overhead camera, probably not. It's probably not high enough up. Probably should change my angle on that, but it is what it is. But we're gonna get these filled up. We're gonna throw our 12 caps in. I got very lucky on my last batch. I was able to get 12 bottles, and I don't think that's ever happened. I don't know how that happened. I'm not gonna get 12 out of this one, I can tell you that. That batch was about up in here, and this one's right a little bit above the 1-gallon mark. This will probably be 11, and I'll probably have to really squeak it out. So everything is submerged. I'm gonna throw these 12 caps in, and I'm gonna use these Northern Brewer branded caps. I don't have brown. If I had brown, I'd use brown. When I buy caps again, I'm gonna get brown. Get some different colors. Brown, blue. Got about every other color. All right, we got our fizz drops, our bottle capper all here, so we're pretty much ready to go. We're gonna let this sanitize for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna pull everything out, let it air dry, hook up our hose, and get started. And we'll be back when we're doing that. All right, we're back, so we can start emptying all our bottles out. They have been in here a good 10 minutes or so, which is more than enough time. Good old iodine solution. Stuff works great. I bought a bottle of that stuff about a year ago, and I still got about half of it left. So, good value. I think I paid 20 bucks for it. I know some people use star sand. Something like that. It's a powder. I have some of that too, but I don't use it for this kind of stuff. You know, I think for bottles and fermenters, you can get away with using this iodine. If you got something that's really gnarly and it needs some good, like, cleaning it. Of course, star sand's not really a, it's a sanitizer, but it's more like a deep clean, I guess. I would use that for like cleaning my keg after I emptied it out. But some people, I guess, will probably use it for this. But I believe you have to rinse that, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't like to have to deal with rinsing. So I make sure I wash my bottles good. I got a bottle brush, but I only use it if I have to. I run my bottles through the dishwasher. I'll fill them up, and after I don't let them sit. That's the key. As soon as I drink a beer, you know, I'll go and fill it up with a little bit of water, shake it real good, pour it out, fill it again, shake it with hot water, and get all that crud out the bottom. You don't want to let that crud sit in the bottom. And then I'll throw it in the dishwasher, and I just run it through the dishwasher, and it gets them pretty clean. And I make sure they're clean. I check them real good. If it's got any residue, then I'll use the bottle brush on it before I put it in the dishwasher. All right, so let's get our hose connected. And thank goodness I've done this so many times that it is not an issue. So what we're gonna do, just gonna drape that there. We're gonna get our caps out. And this time we are using, I don't want that going all over the place. This time we're using Northern Brewer caps. said, I wish I had some round ones, but I don't. But next time I shop, it's not going to be long because I'm almost out of recipes. And speaking of recipes, morebeer.com is our sponsor, and we are going to be brewing up their stuff. And I tell you, there's a couple beers I've been wanting to do, and that's everything. And one of them is a Mexican beer, specifically maybe a lime one. I've seen recipes for those, and I believe More Beer has one, and that is probably going to be one of the next ones I get. When I purchase recipes, I usually try to find, get a coupon offer, and I'll buy enough to get free shipping, and I'll try to do, sometimes I'll have, buy one, get one half off, or buy $100 and get 20% off or something like that. So I'll try to take advantage of that, and I'll buy 5, 6, 7, 8 recipes at a time. And that's why I have had so many Northern Brewer recipes, because I have bought about a dozen of them at one time, and it's taken me a while. But I'm down to only 2 left, so we will be brewing those, and then we're going to take a little bit of a break over the summer and work on other stuff. But we'll still put out content. We got a lot of content that we can work on during that time, and we'll brew a little bit here and there, But we do it in our garage. Our garage doesn't have AC, and it gets hot as heck, so we have to work with what we got. But anyways, we're gonna let these sit for 5 minutes and air dry, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start filling them up with our beautiful nut brown ale. We'll see you then. Those have air dried for a few minutes now. Let's get started here. I already got our airlock out. I went ahead and pulled it out. Go ahead and get our tube filled. Get it fill in. So we don't have a lot of air pockets. All right, so let's get started here. I think we're gonna get anywhere from 10 to 11. This is a good looking beer. It turned out really nice. I like that, I guess that's an amber, more of an amber color. And nut brown. But beautiful, beautiful beer. Looks pretty clean coming through, although I just did see a little bit of particle go through. Hopefully that didn't clog up our filler. If your filler ever does clog up, just up and down it. If it starts feeling slow. Mine seems to be moving pretty good. We're gonna pull this out once it gets up very close to the top. Good looking brew. It doesn't have a distinct smell like some of them. It's kind of mild on the smell. Usually, I can smell it, but it's not as strong as, it smells good, but it's not as strong as some of them. So we're gonna put fizz drops in at the end. I've gotten to where because we don't know what we're gonna get here, and I don't want to waste fizz drops throwing them in bottles that I'm not gonna fill, so we'll just do it at the end. But while we got time, while we're filling bottles, we will talk about some other topics, and one of those is a collaboration that we are doing with a travel agency that represents Carnival Cruises. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but Carnival has will have 6 ships once their newest ship Jubilee comes out, which will be sailing out of Galveston, Texas. Carnival will have 6 ships that have breweries on them, and they brew their own beer, believe it or not. Isn't that really cool? But we'll be sailing on one of those ships in June of next year. The Carnival Vista has a Red Frog pub and brewery on it, and they brew all their, I believe all the ships have Red Frog brews except for one, and I'm not sure which one that is, to be honest with you. It might be the Mardi Gras or Celebration, but one of them has a Guy's Pig and Anchor barbecue, and which is awesome if you've ever had it. I love Guy's stuff, Guy Fieri. And if you sell Carnival, you know what I'm talking about, because Guy's burgers are on all their ships, and they're awesome. But he also has a barbecue restaurant that's on some of the ships. Some of them are branded, like that one is with his name, and I believe the other ones are not branded, but they have his products. But anyways, I love barbecue, so beer and barbecue go really well together. But they brew some great beers. I love their beers, and whenever I sail on their ships, and I sail on, that's pretty much where I go when I'm sailing, because I love their food, and who wouldn't love drinking beer at sea in the Caribbean, you know, on some beautiful white sandy beach with emerald bluish green ocean waters that are crystal clear. Who wouldn't love that? But they have a great experience there. You can, I think it's, I want to say it's like 20 or 25 bucks. It's first come, first serve. You have to go to the guest service desk when you get on the ship and reserve it. But you can do a brewery tour, I believe, or actually, I think you can reserve it there, or you can go to the actual brewery and reserve it. But they do several of them during the cruise. We are going to be working with this travel agency, and if you're curious to who they are, the travel agency is cruisetripplanner.com. So we're doing a collaboration with them, and we're going to be offering some brewing cruises, and their website for the brewing cruises is brewingcruise.com. How about that? So go check out brewingcruise.com if you're interested in going on one of these brewing cruises where you can enjoy Carnival's craft beers that are made on their ships. Awesome. And you can tour the brewery, and they do a great job. Their beers are wonderful. But they have the one ship with guys, and they have special brews on that ship, and then also across the fleet they have the Red Frog brews. And the Red Frog pubs are awesome as well. You can get all their stuff in there. Carnival knows how to do it. They really know how to do it. So check out brewingcruise.com. Check out Cruise Trip Planner also if you're looking to do a cruise. Those guys will hook you up and take care of you. Great people. But we're going to do some group stuff with them. We're going to organize. We haven't set a date yet. I will be on the Carnival Vista in June of next year. I can't remember the exact date, but I'll let you know in a future video. Brewing Daddy will be doing the tour, and that's a Red Frog brewery on that one. But the Jubilee, Mardi Gras, Celebration, Vista, Panorama, gosh, and there's one more. Can't remember the other one. Panorama. There's one more, because it's 6 total. There's 3 Vista class ships, and then the 3 the new ships, Excel class. And don't ask me how I know all this. I cruise a lot, so that's how I know all this. Starting to get a little slow, although yeah, I can see why. We're getting down to the bottom here, so we need to tilt our fermenter. Too busy talking about beers and cruise ships. What a wonderful combination, though. I tell you what, whoever come up with that idea of putting a brewery on a cruise ship, they knew what they were doing. That's my kind of fun there. But you'll be able to partake in that with Brewing Daddy, and we'll announce our dates that we're going to be doing those. Going to be in the far future, but if you want to join us on the Vista, I'll get you that date. You can message me, and I'll get you the date for that cruise, and we can hook you up with our travel agent and get you booked, and you can enjoy a brewery tour with Brewing Daddy. How much fun would that be? Might even get a photo up. How about that? But yeah. And when we plan to do some video of our brewery tour when we do that next year, so be on the lookout. It's going to be a ways off. It's a whole year away. But gosh, I think we might only get 10. We're only going to get 10 out of this. I'm not going to try to push this. I'm definitely not going to try to. I'm going to be pushing it just with this one. I don't know. It's really going slow, but I don't know. I mean, the sediment's not so bad. We'll see. Maybe we can get 11. It'll be a little crusty, that last one, but it'll be okay. We'll try. We'll give it a good try. Now, I could have filled these not as full and probably definitely got 11 easy. But let's do this without making a mess. I don't know, this is a little dicey here. We're rolling the dice with this one. We're gonna be getting every last drop out of it. I don't usually, if it's a really cruddy beer, and this one's not so bad, if it's a really cruddy one, I won't do this. But this one's settled really good, and as you can see coming through the tube, it looks pretty good. But gosh, it's gonna be hard to fill this bottle. Man, I think I might have pushed my luck. But the good news is that there's enough in this tube that I could lift this fermenter up and just let this tube empty out, which I'm doing. That's exactly what's going to happen. And it's not totally full, but guess what? Close enough. I'm going to tell you what, you don't get, see if I can get this last bit out of here without making a mess. Talking about squeezing every bit. I'm almost embarrassed myself with that, but hey, it's okay. All right, so 11 wonderful beers that are going to be delicious and refreshing. Let's get 11 fizz drops in here. So that's one reason I don't like doing the fizz drops at the end, because of the splash. It is what it is. I hate that saying, but it really is what it is. So the grand finale, we're gonna let these sit in the original box that the beer bottles came in a nice dark room for 2 weeks while they do the last bit of fermenting, which will create our carbonation, our CO2, that'll make our beers nice and bubbly. All right, so we're gonna get these capped, and we're gonna get them back in the box. My favorite part, because it's the end. Actually, my favorite part is opening them and drinking them. That's my favorite part. Let the truth be known. That little bit at the end where I open and sample the beer and pour it into a glass, that's my favorite part. This is my second favorite part. I like brewing though, I don't mind brewing them, but bottling is always fun. To me, it's always fun. I don't know, it's just something you don't have to think about, you just do. It's like a motion that you just do. Kind of robotic a little bit. You're a human bottling machine. When you're doing a 5-gallon batch, you are a human bottling machine. You get sick of bottling. Try doing 5-gallon batches and a couple of them in a row, and that gets fun. It gets to be interesting. The worst part is the sanitation of everything. All right, so we're down to the last 3 here. Got 11 out of this, so we'll be back 2 weeks. We're going to open and sample this nice nut brown ale and let you know how it turned out. Alright, we'll see you then. Alright, Brewing Peeps, we're back. It's been more than 2 weeks. We've let this nut brown ale age a little bit. I did test one out right at the 2-week mark, and it didn't have near enough carbonation. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer So I always just test one before I put them all in the fridge. Matter of fact, I like to leave them in the bottle to age until I'm ready to drink them, and then I'll put them in the fridge. So it will continue to carbonate, and you'll have a fully carbonated beer. So let's open this up. I'm hoping this one has a lot more carbonation than the last one, because it didn't have a lot. It sounded good. That sounded better than the first one I did. Let's see if we got a head on it. It's got a little bit of a head. It's got a little bit better carbonation. Not as much as I would like, but there is some carbonation in there. I can see quite a few bubbles in our nut brown ale. Just not very foamy. So it did carbonate a little bit better. I think this is one of the bottles that were, I can see a little bit of sediment floating around. This is one of the bottles that was at the bottom, the very last of the fermenter. Good color. Kind of a little bit hazy, but like I said, I think that particular bottle was one of the last ones I did. It's got that nutty brown smell to it. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, that's nice and smooth. I like that. I see why they call it nut brown ale. It does have kind of a nutty taste to it. This one is definitely more carbonated than the first one. I can see a lot more bubbles in that one. Just a whole lot more bubbles. It's not like some of the other brews where I get a big head, foamy head on top, but it's okay. Another good brew. I would say that was a success. It tastes really good. It's smooth. All right, folks, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel. Check out all of our social media. We have links down in the description. Don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but we do have a merchandise store with Brewing Daddy hats, shirts, and all sorts of stuff, aprons. There's a link in the description if you want to help support the channel and you can afford it. Not asking you to do it, but if you can afford it and you want some Brewing Daddy merchandise, check it out. The prices are pretty reasonable. Also, we are doing a collaboration with cruisetriplanner.com. We got an exciting partnership with them. We're going to be doing beer brewing cruises. Yes, I said that, beer brewing cruises. We're going on Carnival Vista next summer. Carnival has 5, soon to be 6 ships that have breweries on them, and they brew their own beer, and it's really good beer. I've been on a few Carnival cruises, but and I really enjoy their beer. But if you want to join me, check out brewingcruise.com and see what the website is all about. There's a form there. If you just hit contact us, you can submit all your info, and we're going to get you on the cruise with us as part of a group. We're going to tour the brewery there on the Carnival Vista, and we're making several stops. Gosh, I cruise a lot, so I can't remember exactly all the ports, but I want to say that one's going to be Aruba, Curacao, Grand Turk, and there's one other port. Can't remember the other one, but I believe it's either 3, maybe 4. It's a 7 or 8-day cruise. So check that out. That's going to be in June. I don't know the exact dates. We don't have it up on Brewing Cruise yet, but we'll get it up there. And definitely check that out, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Nothing better than being on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, drinking locally brewed beer, going to all the breweries. In Grand Turk, there's a brewery. Well, it's not on Grand Turk, it's on one of the other islands, but they do have their beer. So there's some good hangouts where we can go drink some locally brewed stuff there in Grand Turk. But their brewery is actually, it's Turk's Head. It's over on one of the other islands, but great beer. I had it last time I was there about a month ago. I had some. All right, folks, we really appreciate you. Hope you have a great one. Peace out.